So where are we going? To a land where you trust everyone?
To a land so far from here, even Cersei Lannister can't get her hands on you.
Sansa has become someone who doesn't trust anyone. She's learned from experience that trust is very dangerous.
Lady Sansa, if we can have a word alone.
No.
She's very much Littlefinger's protege, and she's learned the lessons that he had to teach her better than he ever would have thought.
Where are you taking me?
Home.
The Boltons have Winterfell.
When he tells her what he's got in mind, she reacts violently and negatively.
I can't marry him. You can't make me. He is a traitor, a murderer.
You're not marrying Roose Bolton. No, you'll be marrying his son and heir, Ramsay.
His plans aren't immediately clear because he's then going to leave her and he knows what the Boltons are like. It's this one moment where it's like, whoa, do I really know him? What's he about?
You loved your family. Avenge them.
She can see the logic behind what he's saying and realize that this is an unpleasant but probably necessary step in getting back what was taken from her.
As soon as she rides through those gates, everything's changed. It may as well not be her home anymore. It's as if someone has just mutilated her whole childhood.
She's going into this dangerous, difficult situation where she thinks she is going to guide this situation. The only thing she doesn't know, that even Littlefinger doesn't know,
Ramsay Bolton,
is exactly what Ramsay is.
It's an honor to meet you, my lady.
Thank you. She trusts Littlefinger so much that she's going to go through with it. Everyone else, apart from him, has underestimated Sansa.
And cut.
Rebuilding Winterfell is actually incredibly exciting. What we were able to do this season, because of the amount of scenes that are taking place out there, is expand the whole complex, and so build a second courtyard. Through this second courtyard, we were also able to establish how they were rebuilding Winterfell, what the Boltons were doing themselves, showing the building process, giving the environment, lots of activity. What would it look like if you were rebuilding a castle? How are the Boltons changing it? They've certainly gone and removed all the elements of Stark.
Going back and defacing all the direwolves that guard the entrance to the crypt over the archway that Bran was climbing next to in the first season. And the direwolf sigil has had its face chiseled off.
You see the flayed man banner around. That's become kind of a castle of horrors.
It must be difficult for you, being in a strange place.
This isn't a strange place, this is my home. It's the people who are strange.
Very strange.
We're playing out such a serious scene with so much emotion. It was just really difficult.
Sansa, I think it's devastated. It's the most horrendous scene.
That was getting very tense.
It's so close to comedy. Like, it's so black and it's so cruel.
So difficult not to laugh. Any scene with Michael, he just makes me laugh so much.
Set.
And action.
Sansa is no longer going to be a victim. She has become a Stark in her own right.
Welcome home, Lady Stark. The North remembers.
She's back in Winterfell, she's back at her home, and someone calls her Lady Stark, and then it just kind of triggers something. Okay, this is my home, this is my playground, and it just gives her a bit of hope and determination that she's going to reclaim what's hers. I'm Sansa Stark of Winterfell, and you can't frighten me.
I think beyond the dangling carrot of being Wardeness of the North, possibly what's even more important to her is that sense of control of her own destiny, not to be a puppet, not to be a victim.
She's not going to accept it anymore without fighting for herself a bit. And this is the emergence of the new Sansa.
I'll never hurt her. What I've really enjoyed in this season is the opportunity to play against what you're used to seeing from Ramsay. You have my word. Which makes him a lot scarier.
Ramsay's very good at impersonating a normal, decent human being, and Sansa will learn in short order exactly who she is betrothed to.
Reek here is the nearest thing to living kin that you have left. Reek, you will give away the bride.
To your wedding.
To your wedding.
Sansa gets married at night while it's snowing. It was very simple and very beautiful.
The dress and everything was so perfect. There's just like something little off about it when Theon is walking and he's wearing Robb Stark's old clothing. It's just the most awkward wedding ever.
Reek and Sansa walking towards us, the horror really comes real. You can just look at her face.
Because it's very Game of Thrones, it's incredibly beautiful. You know, absolutely stunning with a really, really dark, dark centre.
Who comes before the old gods this night?
With that white tree at the end, it's very symbolic in the whole series. It was lovely to be able to create something that actually, for a second, gives the viewer a bit of hope.
You take this man.
And what it leads to is ultimately terrifying.